Alright guys, what's good? This is Primeflex and I'm back with another massive video for you guys. Alright, now what video am I going to be making today? I'm going to be making a strategy I'm going to call is a price action strategy. So it is basically not mine originally. Alright, so we are going to be using a trend line. Alright, what is a trend line? A trend line is basically a line that runs across the trend of the market. Alright, if you really have basic ideas, or if you have no basic ideas about how to use market structure and how to use price action, you can just drop a comment in the section box below and I'll make a video on that for you guys. All right, now for this strategy we are going to be using a trend line. The trend line can be located in the shape icon of the MT5. This is a trend line on my chart right now, and the trend line can be changed based on the width and the style, which is the pixel. You can make it very thick, you can make it as thick as possible, and you can change the color. All right guys, so this is a trend line for you. And we are not going to be using the trend line on the main chart. We are going to be using the trend line on the RSI, the indicator chart. All right, we are going to be using the RSI 10 for this video. Now, how do we use our trend line? The first thing we want to do for this strategy is we want to look for an obvious downtrend or uptrend. For crash 1000, we are looking for an obvious downtrend. All right, we are going to be looking for an obvious downtrend. Now I want you to take a big look at this zone right here. You can see there's a downtrend right here. All right, so to use the trend line for this, for the downtrend, you are going to locate the first top of the market, the first peak. All right, and then just going to drag it down till it can touch as much as possible. Now it is not the most it touches every of the peaks you see. All right, it's the minimum is 2 touches. All right, once it touches 2, like in my chart right here, it touches the first peak and it touches another peak. All right, it must touch at least 2. All right, so that is it. Now you can see I have my trend line already. Now the trend line, like I said, is used to spot breakouts in the market. So the trend line is going to show me when the market is going to change from a downtrend to what, to an uptrend. All right, so as you can see, I have my downtrend, I have my trend line, a minimum of 2 touches, which is quite great, which is correct. All right, and then I can see the point at which the market breaks out of my trend line, and then I'll be taking my trade at that point. So in this case it will be at the 6317 level. Now for the minute 5, you can set your what, your stop loss and your break and your take profit. So my entry would have been at 6317, and then my stop loss would be right below at the last low of the market at 6311. So the stop loss is going to be triggered when when a candle breaks below the stop loss. Now where is my take profit going to be? My take profit is going to be at any point I think it is going to be. So I can use a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Since my entry is at 6317 and my stop loss is at 6311, that is a 6 point difference. All right, if my stop loss is 6 points, then my take profit could be, let's say, 12 points, which is a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. Or I can use 6 point stop loss and I can go for 18 points take profit. So it all depends on you. The most important thing you should be able to set in your chart is your stop loss. All right, once you can protect your capital, then you can maximize your profits. All right, so that is how to use a trend line. You can see I look for an obvious downtrend for crash 1000, and then I'm just going to draw my trend line across it, and then I just look for the point where the market breaks out of the trend line. All right, and I can take my trade and even set stop losses and every other thing I want. All right, so let me show you another example using this strategy. um let's see. Okay, this point right here, you can see this point right here. I'm skipping a lot of examples, a lot of downtrend patterns I can show you, because I just want it to be as basic as ever for you to be able to fully understand how it works. All right, so I'm just going to take my trend line and I'm going to look for the first peak. I will drag it down till it touches another peak that I can see. All right, the minimum is 2 touches, which is correct for this because I have the first touch and I have the second touch right here, and then my entry is going to be at the breakout level of the market. All right, so where is the breakout level? Right here, this is the breakout level at 6373. Where is my stop loss going to be? My entry could be 630 what uh sorry 6373. all right, 6373. And then my 6373. All right, and then my stop loss is going to be at the low, the last low I can see, which is around here at 6361. Now my take profit is all, it all depends on me. I can decide to use, as you can see here, if you held for a very long time, you would have been stopped out at this point right here, even after enjoying this long push upward to 6394. If you held for a very long time, you might have been stopped out here, but at least you would have moved your stop loss to break even after you've seen the market going up and up and up. All right, so these are simple basic rules that a trader must follow. All right, you must understand risk management, when to move your stop loss, when to protect your capital, and even when to protect your profits, and to be able to maximize the profits. All right, guys, you can see right here as well, I have a visible downtrend right here for crash 1000, and I'm just going to take my trend line. I'm going to look for the first peak, and then I'm just going to drag it down till it touches other peak. Now if I'm going to do it this way, you can see I'm going to have this place left, this place left, and it is going to show me a fake breakout, which is not what I want. So when you are using the trend line, you have to make sure that it is touching the peak and there is nothing outside. All right, there is nothing outside showing, except when you get the breakout. All right, so I will just draw this right here, and it is touching two peaks already, and I'm going to wait for the breakout of the trend. All right, when I see the breakout of the trend, I'm going to place my buy trade. In this case, my buy trade will be at 6376, and I'm just going to use my so my buy trade will be at this point, 6376. My stop loss is going to be a very tight one for this, because the low is very close to the entry. So my stop loss is going to be at 6369, and then my take profit is all going to depend on me. And if you held for a very long time, you are going to enjoy this massive run of the trend. All right, then I think as it gets there, you should have closed your market already. All right, so that is just basic things I shouldn't be telling you. It should be based on your capital. All right, for a small capital, you can choose to hold for a much more longer time, and for a big capital, you can take multiple entries, and you can just take short to medium, long to medium runs, and then you can just leave the market. All right, like I said, it all depends on your on your capital. All right, and your psychology as a trader. All right, so I have another trend right here. You can see this is an obvious downtrend, and I'm just going to use my trend line. I'm going to look for the first peak. The first peak is this point, and I'm just going to drag it down. All right, it is not touching. You want to make sure it touches the edge of the peaks. All right, and I'm just going to drag it down, and in this case it is touching three peaks. It touches this and this. All right, so I'm going to look for the breakout, the obvious breakout of the market, and that will be my entry. So the obvious breakout of the market will be right here at 6369, and I'm just going to use my these are all um these are all examples I'm showing you. So for you to be able to use this in your live trade, you have to really watch this video and understand. All right, so my stop loss is going to be at the last low of the market, which would be at 6364. All right, and then my take profits is going to be wherever. So you can see right here, after the market moved for some time, it went down and almost touched our stop loss, but it didn't touch, and then it still went up. So the market can be funny at times, and sometimes it is just what it is. It could just be random. All right, so you can see right here, let's see, let me look for another example. All right, so you can see right here, I have another example right here. I have this is the first peak, and then I can just drag it down and it touches two peaks. All right, and then I'm going to wait for the breakout of the market, or when I get the breakout of the market, I'm going to enter the trade. Let me delete this. When I get the breakout of the market, I'm going to enter the trade. This is the breakout at 6359. So at 6359, I'll be taking my trade, and then my stop loss is going to be just a little bit at the last low, which is at 6353. and then you can watch. This might not have been a trade you wanted because it just keeps going up, keeps ranging and ranging and ranging, and then it's our stop loss. So it is not it is there is no 100% strategy like I will tell you. All right, so this is a short downtrend which you can take advantage of. So you can just find the first peak, touches the second peak, and then you wait for the breakout. And when you get the breakout of the market, which is going to be at this point right here, at this point at 6357. All right, so let me just show you that 6357, and then my stop loss would have been at 6351. All right, and then you can see I enjoyed a massive bull run after the change in direction, after the short downtrend. I enjoyed a massive bull run. So this is the basic strategy. I can go in depth and complex about this strategy, but I don't just want to do that because it will be very hard for you guys to really understand. All right, so let me show you how to use it on the boom 1000 chart. All right, so for the boom 1000, we are going to be using the uptrend version of this. So for crash 1000, we are using the downtrend. For boom 1000, we are going to be using the what, the uptrend version of this. All right, so what do I mean by the uptrend version of this? Let me delete this, let me delete all shapes, and then I'm show you. So this is, instead of taking it at the top, we're going to be taking it at the bottom because it is an uptrend, and we're going to be making sure it touches as much peaks at below as possible. So you can see it touches this here, touches this here, and then we wait for the what, we wait for the breakouts, and when we get the breakout, we are going to be taking the what, taking the trade, and our stop loss is going to be at the last low. Now we're going to be, I'm going to be having a very big stop loss here, I think, or not quite big, but at least it is some it is uh, bigger. So I'll be entering at 11754, 11754 at this point, and then my stop loss would be at 11780. So that is risking over 30 points, and then you can see the market just kept on going down and going down, and you could have gotten one times four of your risk actually as a reward. All right, so that is for boom 1000. Let me show you, let me see if I can get one more example to show you guys. So this is another example right here. You can see I have this peaks right here. So this is here, here, and here, and then I wait for the what, for the breakouts. Now the breakout is going to be at this point. The breakout is going to be at this point at 11833, 11833. All right, so let me mark that out at this point, and my stop loss is going to be at 11852. Now the market, I almost got to my stop loss at 11850, and even the second time, if your stop loss was a bit shorter than mine, you would have gotten you would have gotten stopped out. But if you didn't get stopped out, you would have enjoyed this massive run to the downward path. So that is just how to use trend lines to spot obvious breakouts of the market. All right, let me just show you one more example using the uptrend. So you can see right here I have this trend right here, touches this peak and then touches this peak below, and then I'm just going to wait for the obvious breakout of the market. All right, so I'm going to be entering at 11954. So I'll be entering 11954. Let me see, 11954 at this point. I think I'm right. Yes, I am right. So my stop loss would have been at 11982, and then I would have just enjoyed this downward movement. All right, so that is all about using the trend line. It is used to what, to spot the change in trend of the market. All right, so I want you to watch this video over and over again to understand how it works, how to use the trend lines to trade the market. All right, so it is very important for you to understand that chart patterns could be very basic. Chart patterns could be very basic, but they are very effective as well. All right, so you want to understand how to really use them to your own advantage, and how to be able to be very profitable with it. So it is not a complex strategy. I don't do complex strategies because it just gets you worked out mentally. So you have to understand that the simpler the strategy, the more effective you would be able to use it, and the more effective you would be in concentrating when it comes to taking signals and managing and optimizing the strategy. All right, so that is all for this video. I think I'm done with this video. You can watch this video over and over again to understand how to use trend lines and how to use this chart pattern. In my next video, I'll be showing you guys how to use another chart pattern that is very effective and quite profitable in the market. So make sure you watch out for that video. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, drop a comment in the section box. PrimeFlex says bye.